then we're watching. There's a little counter in the upper corner. See where it says 0, means nobody's watching right now. So it is picking up the feed, and that will fluctuate over the course of the hour. So there's 3, right? Because it's going out to 3 locations right now, at least 3.
Yeah, now
probably
3.
4. Yeah. So, and then I start kind of checking the feed, and I make sure people can watch, and here we are. So if you are tuning in, yes, this is the Eden Show. We'll be starting soon.
Oh my God, Eden, I had so many pictures. I didn't add any of these to the video. Oh no.
I know. Maybe we'll have to do a part 2.
So here's Dad with his dad at my bar mitzvah.
Oh, right.
Look at that.
And wait a minute. Oh my God, here's the whole family with the picture that we started for the that's that same day. The pipes in Dad's mouth, and that's me and my older brother.
I love
my younger brother isn't born yet.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, Dan was one of 3 brothers.
When I talk about my dad being cooler than the other side of the pillow, this is the picture that comes to mind.
Oh, I wish that was in the video. That's a good one. That's like
we can edit it later if we want.
Yeah, that's him in the office. That's wonderful.
At the same point in time, that's me.
That's you.
Can't see it too well,
Dan, you have been holding out on me. These are great photos.
Here's my dad as a little boy reading in bed.
Oh, he was such a cute.
I've read that book.
Of course. He was adorable.
Yeah, he was a very adorable kid.
Hey, Carrie, thanks for watching.
The Bedside Esquire.
It's Esquire, yeah. Which is what children love to read.
It's all children's stories. It was oh my God, here's his report cards. Oh my God, my aunt sent me this package of stuff. I never even went through it.
Oh, Dan, those are gold.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that I saw a picture. Oh, these are all the ones you did. You copied. All right.
Oh, and he still wears that sort of shirt.
Oh God. Here you go.
Whoa, what's that?
That is my dad on stage in high school. He's this guy right here.
The one on the right.
Was it The Importance of Being Earnest? My dad did The Importance of Being Earnest in high school.
I have no idea.
Funny.
It looks like it could be, right? It was probably a British comedy. It's always a British
Certainly
comedy.
was, because my father's standing behind behind a bar on a table, pouring drinks for somebody, and it doesn't look like that. I wonder if you know what?
What?
I'll have to see if I can. My aunt's kind of old, but I have to call her and ask her. She'll remember the play. She went to it with my aunt.
You have to call her. Yeah. Say, fill this information in for me. It's important. But it's important. Look at all those. He says.
I don't know if I have enough time to do it now, though. I think it'll interfere with the show.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, if my dad's playing a song, call your aunt. Say, hey, I need to know this within the next hour. See what happens. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
That's Dad right there. See him? Look at him. Look how young he is.
Hi, Mel.
Oh, that's a hello to you. You're in the headphones. You're not on the speaker, so she can't
that's
hear
right.
you.
Yeah. All right, Catherine Weber says, hi, we're watching. Oh, Kathy, thanks, Gary. Thanks, Christy. High expectations. Oh, God. Yeah. So, Dad, Christy's one of my students in Connecticut. So she's watching with her parents tonight.
Okay.
So, yes, this is the OG, right here. So, yes, Christy, someday you too will be doing a live stream with your parents. What fun that will be.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I flew in this morning to Columbus, and I'll be here for a few days, and we're going to have a good time. And I said, well, Dad, as long as I'm coming, and it is a Wednesday, and it is right before Father's Day, and Dan Chaika has a world premiere video about his dad, then maybe I can wrestle my dad into playing stuff. And here we are.
I thought the line after I just flew in from into Columbus is, and boy, my arms are tired.
And
right?
my arms are tired. Yes, I'm so tired. Oh, the rest of me's tired. My arms are good. But yeah, Columbus, it's great. The weather here is a little bit sunnier than Rhode Island. So that's about what?
We still don't have sun. It was humid today, but no sun.
Good. We're getting there. We're getting there. So little by slow, summer we'll get to Rhode Island. But yeah, one of the things I loved about growing up in Columbus was that, I like the heat and humidity. Am I the only one?
You're the only one.
I'm the only one. Right. Yeah. Everybody else complains about it all the time, and me like, give it.
So it's funny. I love the heat and humidity because it keeps all the lightweights off the golf course.
Whatever works, Dan. Whatever works. I can't stand it. I can. So.
Nope. You all stay in. You worry about your ozone alerts. I'll be fine.
Well, this past week, right? Hi, David. It was all smoke, right? So yeah, and Columbus got the smoke as well. So hopefully it's getting better here. It should be nice tomorrow and all good. So yeah, what do you got to talk about in Ohio? We talk about the weather. That's all we talk about. So
I thought the weather was pretty much the same except for tornado season, no?
I'm waiting for that too. Actually, last time I was here was like March, and we had a severe thunderstorm, and it was almost like the sirens are going off. That's the thing I love about Ohio, and I always miss it, and I love it when I come back to the Midwest, is hearing the severe weather sirens go off. It is such a random thing, but that's the kind of stuff I like. We don't have severe weather sirens in Rhode Island. We don't need them. Right? So they don't do the testing for that. And I love hearing the sirens go off. Also, one of my favorite movies of all time was Twister. Really. I wanted to be a meteorologist when I was growing up. And so I had a weather radio. You remember how I used to track hurricanes in my room? And I used to watch Jim Ganal on WCMH and pretend that I was tracking the severe weather. It's really just about drama. I was just a meteorological drama queen. You too, David? Yes. Okay. And hi, Gene. Thanks for watching. Yeah.
I had I don't get their chat when we're on the restream, unfortunately, but
okay.
I think I had probably the same weather radio. It was about this big. It had two shortwave things, AM, FM, and then weather. All of them.
Radio Shack used to sell them, right? Realistic.
Radio Shack. It came from Radio Shack. Yeah.
And Kathy says, Dan, you like the heat and humidity because you are not a menopausal woman. So
that is correct.
David says, I like the part in Twister where they play Van Halen's Human Being. Yes. So good. I could watch that movie all the time. I mean, it's just, it's a sickness. Anyway, true confession. And it is now 8 o'clock. I guess we should, I don't know, do this show or something.
8 o'clock.
All right,
we can do
hang
this
on.
show.
I didn't realize the time, and I figured I'd wipe the glare off my glasses.
Oh, do that. Wipe the glare off your glasses.
I'm ready to go now.
Okay, I'm turning off the lounge.
You're officially ready now.
I'm ready.
Now, you'll notice I am sitting near a piano, but I'm not at the piano because
That's your favorite.
I've got a great piano player tonight. So I'm having my dad play an Ohio appropriate theme song tonight.
Oh, I get a new key. Excellent.
All right. Tell them.
Live.
Them hard and see how they fall. Never let that team get the ball. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. So let's get at the line now. There. Go.
Live from Columbus, Ohio. This is the Eden Show, a Greenhouse Entertainment Group production, and I'm Dan Chaika, live from Providence, Rhode Island. And we're here with Eden's father, Ron Casteel, to celebrate all things father and just have a general good old time with some corny jokes. So without any further ado, let me bring you to the singing Casteel!
Yay! Oh my God. And now everybody who's watching the show tonight is saying, oh, my kid wanted to be a tornado chaser too.
And I just realized why they call it forehand.
Right.
Yes.
Forehand. I put the chat overlay in because this is too good otherwise. So yes, friends, your chats are going to show up here when you start chatting more because you're saying too many cool things. And I can check off the show.
I didn't know we had that feature, Eden. It only took 85 episodes.
Only 85 episodes. I mean, I'm working on it. I'm totally working on it. So there's that. I know, Dan, I've got you all shaquat over here. So I'm seeing if I can pull this up. There's Laura. Can you see yourself okay? Yeah. There. I'm hiding you a little bit, but you're there. So yes, thank you for watching the Eden Show. I'm Eden Casteel. Usually I'm in Rhode Island, but tonight I'm in Columbus, Ohio with my dad, Ron Casteel. And over there in Providence is my favorite personal lawyer, Emcee Dan Chaika. Oh, Carrie Lee's already doing it.
I've got two.
OH, right? OH, IO.
Oh, that's what she's doing. I always thought the
IO. Yeah, it's the thing. And if you caught that my theme show music tonight was the Buckeye Battle Cry. So yes, if you're from Columbus, Ohio, these are the songs that you are pretty much taught in preschool. And so between that and tornadoes, that is Ohio. And I am from here.
So
right?
I it's no secret that Dan Chaika spent a lot of time in the late 70s through the 80s touring with the Grateful Dead to do what kids of my generation.
Oh, really?
And this is what I remember from Ohio, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that too. You must have gone to Buckeye Lake. That's where all the dead shows.
It was Akron. It was around the Rubber Bowl.
Oh, really?
That was an amazing place to see a show. What was even funnier is it was like the first football stadium in America that lit up for college football. And of course, design defect. They put the poles with the lights on it at the four corners of the field instead of up high. So there were a lot of injuries in the beginning for the Akron Zips.
Serious injuries. We like this. Yeah, Laura says she remembers Buckeye Lake. So that in Columbus, Buckeye Lake is to the east of Columbus. And so we would get a lot of shows happening there. So, but tonight, yes, it's all about celebrating dads and your dad, my dad, our parents. And since Father's Day is coming up, this is also our last show for a little while. We're going to be back in mid-August. But you and I got stuff to do. You got golf to do. I got gigs. We got stuff going on. So this is a good way to go out.
Vacation coming up. Are you kidding? But
yeah.
When we come back, we're going to have a gigantic Leo celebration, aren't we?
We are totally going to do that. Yes, it's going to be mega Leo celebration in my living room. And we're just going to get all the Leos. We're just going to scratch up all the furniture. It's going to be awesome. So I will still be online, doing various things. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that way things that I do will pop up there more than anywhere else. But thanks for watching tonight. So I can catch you up a little bit on what we've done. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. I got to play for a really cool improviser. Let's see if I can find it right there. Jill Bernard over at the Contemporary Theater Company doing the Ocean State Improv Festival. And do you remember these crazy ladies, the cabaret ladies?
Oh, yes. What a great show we had with them.
Ruby May and Agnes Malone. So they performed at the Ocean State Improv Festival. They were hilarious, and I hope they'll be back with us in the fall. And I also got to do this fun gig with our friends Joe Potenza and Jean Rosati over at the GAM. So Mama's been a busy girl, right? Busy girl. And this cool thing, I went with our friends Karen Besson and Eliza Collins, and we went to this cool new hot spot called, not that one, this one, called the Blue Room in Cranston. If you haven't been there yet, it's really wonderful. That woman with the curly hair right there.
Jen Menudo.
Jen Menudo. So she's a lawyer who's opened a jazz bar, right? Isn't that cool?
Oh, yes.
It's brand new. And so it's in Cranston, and they're doing an open mic every Thursday, 4 to 7. I'm going.
2 minutes from my office, so let me know when you're coming.
I totally will.
It's closer to there than it is to my house. I eat in that neighborhood. This is your spot. I could walk there if the weather was good. Yeah.
I love it. So even though we didn't get to do the Eden show, we did a lot of other stuff. And I don't know if I have the picture up here, but we also have a new graduate in our family. My stepdaughter graduated from high school on Sunday. Happy for her. Yeah, it's been really, really a great time. So, and now it's just more party. But this guy over here, my dad, we're going to talk about your dad too, because we have a video about your dad premiering tonight on this show. But I haven't made a video about this dad. I'm making him work. That's my job, make him work. So Ron Casteel, lifelong Columbusite, plays out all over. As long as I've known him, he's been a piano player. And he was my first piano teacher when I was 4 or 5? 4. And it didn't last very long because I wasn't a very good student. But I've always known my dad to be a piano player. So, Dad, I want you to demonstrate that you are a piano player. So here you are. Play one of your songs, and we're going to watch. Guess that song, friends.
things. All those things. That your wife is her. Could she? Could she? Here we go. Has anybody seen? That's one. Has anybody seen? That's two. Has anybody seen my dad?
Oh,
Ron Casteel, my dad.
awesome.
This is what he
That
does.
was
right?
awesome.
So you may have seen, right?
Well,
The tree, the apple is not very far from the tree. Yeah.
well, that's all for tonight.
It's
I had a
done.
great
It's all done.
time.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope
done.
you did too.
So my dad, he's played piano most of his life. And he now plays in Columbus. He has a thing on the Bash. You can hire my dad. And he has a website, roncasteel.com. And it's sometimes confusing, right? Because my father's name is Ron C. My husband's name is Ron C. So my mother used to call them Ron 1 and Ron 2 to tell them apart. It helped a lot, right? So, but yeah, when she would call out Ron, they would both go, yes. And nobody knew who anybody was. So that's my dad. And my dad is going to be playing some different things tonight and do some live music. But I want to shift gears, Dan, and I want to talk about your dad, Bill Chaika.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Because we have all these great dads, and we've talked about our dads and the crazy things they have in common. But tell me about your dad.
So my dad was he was an attorney for 50 years, and I practiced law with him for 25.
So that was Chaika and Chaika, right?
That's Chaika and Chaika. I kept the firm name. I just moved him down to the deceased column because I can't represent that he's still alive, but I keep the name there forever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yes, Laura, I'll tell you about it in a minute, but keep going, Dan.
oh
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, Don Berner. Hi, Don. Thanks for watching.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Don's a friend of his from here in Columbus. So your dad, you had the law firm for 25 years together.
And we went to lunch almost every day.
Oops. Looks
And
like my
if we
camera
didn't
has
go to
frozen.
lunch-
Keep talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm frozen.
Yeah, keep talking. I think it's
Oh, I
fine. I
went-
think it's just the camera has frozen.
Oh, good. So I went. Your camera froze. I'm moving, so I'll keep it.
Yeah.
I'll keep it going. I went to lunch with him almost every day. That was the highlight of the day. Except in 1989, a pool hall opened up. That opened at 3 p.m, and by 3:30, my dad didn't want to work anymore. We played pool 3 or 4 afternoons a week there, which was really pretty cool.
Keep going. I'm changing the camera.
Oh, I see what you're doing. All right, so he, you're going to see a lot about him in this song. I wrote the whole, Little League, and just a great role model, and giving me great pointers in life about how to handle things as a child growing up, as a teenager, which I didn't listen to, and finally as an adult working with him, which was, it was really good stuff. I always described my dad as being, change that light though. Always described my dad as being cooler than the other side of the pillow, right? So
yes,
and that was his great expression when he talked about the musicians of his times, the Platters, the Drifters, and old Harry Belafonte and Johnny Mathis. But so when I think of my dad being cooler than the other side of the pillow, this is the guy I'm talking about.
That's Bill Chaika, friends.
That's him, baby. Tie wide enough to use as a bib, and just that big 1970s mustache. The back of this, I just noticed, says my father at the 1973 Passover Seder. So
did your dad ever have a pair of like white Bucks? Because my dad did.
My dad had white Bucks.
Yeah, I used to ask him to wear them. Yeah. Because fashion, I don't know fashion. What the heck? So and my camera froze. So here I am using the camera that's inside the computer, but that's all you can do. Yeah, it's a really cool looking dad.
Looks pretty good, and the light came out okay. So you're fine.
Yeah.
So
I told
he
Dad,
was an adorable little kid. I understand
that.
your father had the same book when he was a child. But that's my dad reading the Esquire bedside reader, which was, believe it or not what Esquire is now. No. It was children's stories.
Your father was, a very educated, and so was your mother. Very smart, educated reader people. Yeah, and you didn't fall from that far from that tree either.
So I've only got 2 more pictures until we
do it.
Absolutely,
show me.
This is the nuclear family when I was under 2 because my younger brother isn't there. He's
Mhm.
not born yet. But
Mhm.
does it get any cooler than that?
That
You
is
know, I
so
just gotta
cool.
say.
Look at your
Just say that
family.
I'm the little one. You'll notice it from the other video when we play it, but I'm the little tiny one sitting on Dad's lap when I was infatuated with that pipe.
Oh, wow.
But
And I love your sailor outfit in that. That was just adorable.
Yeah, they got pictures of me for like 5 years wearing sailor outfits. That was shtick in the early 60s. So my dad had loved to perform. My dad was not an accomplished performer, so to speak, but you know, my first year as an attorney, you get sworn in August, and in they do that back then in the fall. They did an annual bar meeting, and my dad was part of the entertainment group, and they would put on like parody or skits or entertain people at this dinner. So, and my dad had been doing it for years. So the first time I went to one, when the lights dimmed and the lights came and the house lights dimmed and the lights came on, my dad was standing in the middle of the room on the stage in a green tutu with a magic wand. And I was like blown away. I had no idea. And he proceeded to sing parody and roast the judges and other attorneys in the audience with impunity, because who was going to get mad at somebody lambasting them in a tutu? So,
see, it's really all in the presentation. This is the lesson that we have learned.
It all runs deep. My aunt sent me a package. She's cleaning out her house and moved. She's got to be probably late 80s at this point, early 80s, no, mid 80s. And she sent me a packet of unsolicited photos that she didn't want to throw away. Here is my father on stage in high school. He's the guy in the dark suit serving the drinks, and you can see the heads of all the audience members and stuff. I gotta have to find out what show it was, but that's where the bug comes from, I gotta say.
Yeah. I mean, we both have performer dads. We both are Leos who are shameless about it. Yes. And that's why we're together, Dan. That's why we do this damn show. It's fun.
And that's always so fun to write the song, because it's kind of universal. It could be wisdom from a father to a daughter and a daughter to a father. And, you know, there's that dichotomy where it starts off and you're young and you learn from the parents. And as they get older, it's amazing how much they learn from you.
Yes.
And it's a phenomenal.
True?
Yes.
It's true. Okay. He says it's true.
It's a phenomenal feeling when, you know, I'd probably been practicing for about 5 years, and my dad came in the office and shut the door and needed my advice. You know, that's when you feel like it's come full circle. And if people pay attention when we play the song, it comes for a full circle. So the refrain is my father giving me the advice, but at the end, it's me giving him the advice, right?
That's right.
There was no worse day than the day I had to tell him he couldn't drive anymore. And he offered up the keys and promised he wouldn't. And he almost didn't. He did drive one more time. A few months later, he wasn't really intentionally driving, but a few months later, my mom, who's still living at home, said to him, "Oh, I'd really like some ice cream." And she thought he was going to go down to the freezer and get her some ice cream, right?
Yeah.
He grabbed the keys to her car and was gone. And like an hour and a half later, we get a phone call from the 2 towns over from the police department.
Oh, no.
So your father showed up here with some melted ice cream, and he handed us his phone, and on it the screen says, "If I'm lost, call my son Daniel."
He planned so well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very laurely.
Yes, it was just wonderful. It happened many times, to be honest with you. That screen save was great. You know, until he finally had to go into the Alzheimer's facility. We got one of those GPSs you give the dog.
Oh yeah.
And we had it clipped to his belt, and we let him go walk with the dogs, and we could find him on our phone. There he was.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm glad for those kind of things. And so all of this is in the song that we wrote a couple of years ago for an album called Peacedale Hayride Volume 2. So I'm going to put up that graphic. I hope I don't cover your face. So,
I don't care.
Okay, there. So Pearls of Wisdom was written by Dan and music by me. And so I said that the story is about your father and the music is about my father.
Very much.
Yeah, very much so. And
but you should take a little credit, because I could not have written it without the back and forth of you and the edits. And, you know,
It was a
Every
very
writer
fun song
needs a
to
good
write.
editor. I got to tell you.
This is true. This is true. We all do.
Yeah.
And we had many of our friends play on this entire album that's available on bandcamp.com.
Yes.
And you can hear all the songs. I think we had like 8 or 9 of their original country tunes. And Dan's contribution is called Pearls of Wisdom, about his dad. And we finally made a video about it. So I actually have a bunch of footage for several of these songs that's kind of sitting there. And I have a couple of videos to fire off, but they're not all done yet. And thankfully, Dan said, Eden, when the hell are you going to get that done? And here we are. Right
Well, that's
before
not
Father's
exactly
Day.
what I said.
Nope,
Something came up and you needed
Yeah.
a little legal advice, and Dan Chaika had to blackmail you.
That I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's okay. That was the best blackmail ever. And I was honored to put this together with you and with stuff for your dad. So I think, are we ready for the premiere?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I'm going to go over to my laptop. If you can see this room, it is just covered in wires and weird lighting. And I'll try to fix the camera while I can, but I may not be successful. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to put on my glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing.
And put up one screen. And so
Yeah, I'm going to check off the chat.
There's
that
some
way we can see
amazing
that.
footage shot by Eden Casteel, I'll tell you all.
Yes, it was filmed
Video was shot by
locally
Eden.
in Rhode Island.
Yes.
And it was a lot of fun to film. So in 3 locations. So we'll talk about that on the other side. But I think we are now ready for the world premiere. God help us. I hope this works. Of Pearls of Wisdom by Dan Chaika. So here
Thank
we
you.
go.
I was guarding second base, scanned the bleachers for your face. I knew that you were working night and day. But suddenly I saw you were sitting next to Mom, and everything was gonna be okay. And when we lost the game, you cheered me all the same. You stuck around and told me I was brave. Win or place or show, you were there to let me know. Time's not what you spend, it's what you save. Wisdom to a son from his father. Live and love with no regrets. When we're far apart, I hear you in my heart. I promise I'll never forget. In my suit and brand new tie, giving all the girls the eye, searching for the secret to success. In the office, in the car, drinking bourbon at the bar. You said don't speed on the road to happiness. If you wanna win the race, you said keep cool, set the pace. You'll beat the odds before you have to fight. It's not an easy skill, but you're my son, you will spend the time you need to do it right. Wisdom to a son from his father. Live and love with no regrets. When we're far apart, I hear you in my heart. I promise I'll never forget. that we made began to slowly fade as the world around you started to close in. Ma's eyes filled with tears 'cause you forgot the happy years. You didn't know the person you had been. As life draws to its close, my love for you still grows. You give me blessings like I've never known. I'm glad you taught me how to enjoy what we have now. I speak and your voice sounds just like my own. Wisdom to a son from his father. Live and love with no regret. When we're far apart, I hear you in my heart. I promise I'll never forget. I promise I'll never forget.
I'm going to
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Eden.
How they do that heart thing? There.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'll do the big one for you. So that is awesome because my niece, his granddaughter, gave birth to the first great grandchild and named her after him.
Really?
So he'll have something to look at and see his grandpa and namesake forever because it'll be on YouTube forever. Did you just switch cameras again?
I fixed that. So yeah, I'm using the Mac continuity camera and it just shuts off suddenly. And I'm on Wi-Fi here, not Ethernet. So there can be the occasional blip. So it is what it is. It's streaming live, friends.
I want to let you get back to your dad, but I just want to make a few comments about that video.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Leave it in the rearview mirror.
I'm so darn proud of you.
Thank you so much. And what a great job, Eden. I really appreciate what you put together. All I did was walk around and do what you told me to do and get you pictures, and you did the rest of it, which was great. Ron, you know what that's like, right?
Feeling. Yeah. I know that feeling.
We filmed it in the Muse Tavern.
Yes.
And we filmed it at the ball field, Old Mountain Field in Wakefield, and we filmed it in Quanticottag.
In Quanticottag on the dock. I'm sorry. I'm just so choked up. All right, hang on.
I know.
So we filmed when we did this, we recorded, it was the height of the pandemic, right? It was 2021. And we never really met with the musicians. Like they came and recorded their pieces separately. Like we all recorded with you separately. And I had forgotten who actually collaborated on the piece until I saw the credits at the end of it. And it's just a great group of a lot of people. So Mark Cutler, who played guitars, knew my dad. You remember that? We talked about him when we did the Eden show with him. And,
yes.
There's just people from, he was so abusive about him. It was wonderful. So anyways, that was interesting. And Liz, that's my work mom. That was my dad's assistant. My dad's office manager and assistant and right-hand man for 34 or 38 years. Like, I feared her more than my own mother. When I wrecked the car, I had a tone to Liz. It was like, oh, I did it again, Liz. She's like, come on, Danny. But the other thing I wanted to say is that to people who don't know enough about my dad, he was an avid baseball fanatic. He grew up in the Bronx, New York, in the shadows of Yankee Stadium. Not shadows, probably a mile away because he had a commute there. And he was a ball boy for about 6 or 7 years at Yankee Stadium. And he played city baseball and got recruited by the Yankees. And his parents, good immigrants who worked hard to come to this country, did not want their son to play a game. So that was it. He never went to chase his dream, but he always loved baseball. He raised all his kids to be Boston Red Sox fans because he didn't want us to be picked on. But when the Red Sox played the Yankees, that cap came on, and he had to root for the Yankees instead of the Red Sox. You know, people talk about the rivalry, but to true baseball players, baseball is baseball. So there was a picture in there of us standing in Fenway because we went at least every year to one game right up until the end. And that the day those pictures were taken, I'm there with my dad and another friend of mine and his daughter and his daughter's friend. And at one point, someone taps me on the shoulder and points to the Jumbotron. And my dad is dancing with the big animated Wally the Green Monster, who's on we're the first row behind the dugout. Wally's doing the 7th inning stretch sing, and my dad gets up, and the two of them start dancing together, and it's on the Jumbotron. I couldn't get my camera out quick enough to snap it, but that was one great memory. And the other was he really wanted to go back to Yankee Stadium when it was rebuilt. And I went on a road trip, and I brought my dad to Yankee Stadium. We got there very early with a group of people. We took a bus from Rhode Island so I could spend the whole time and engage him. And we got to the stadium. We were early. We start walking around the stadium, and they're doing batting practice or whatever. And we're at like the edge by third base meets the outfield. And there's a group of people taking pictures because you can get this great picture of the scoreboard and the field and everything. And I said to this couple who was there, young couple, I said, take a picture of my father and I. He used to be a ball boy here back in the 50s and 40s and 50s. And, you know, I'd like to have a picture of it. So they take the picture. And as I walk away, some guy taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around, and he's wearing an operations jacket that's a different color than everybody else's. So everybody's was like yellow, and he's got a blue one, right? To me, did I hear your father was a ball boy at Yankee Stadium? I said, oh yeah, 40s to 1951 when they moved out of the city. And he opens up the gate and says, how'd you like to go out on the field?
Oh, wow.
And my dad and I walked down to the field. And for people who don't know about baseball, right before you get to the wall, they have something called the warning track, and it's this dirt. So if you're running real fast and the grass ends, you know you better stop or you're going to hit the wall, right? So my dad bends down to take a little bit of the dirt from the warning track, and the guy says to him, go ahead, fill your pocket. And my dad looks at the grass. He goes, yeah, grab a handful of grass. And my dad puts a bunch of grass in his other pocket. We go back in and we watch the whole game. We have a great time. We get in the bus and we're driving back with everybody. We're somewhere in Connecticut. My dad drops the tray, and he starts playing with his sand and his grass. And I said, hey, Dad, did you have a good time today? And he said, I had the best time in the world. I can't thank you enough. And he goes, just one thing. He goes, who won? Because he had no I didn't remember who won. And I said to him, Dad, you did. He goes, yeah, I did. And then I look over, and everybody around us is crying.
Yeah.
So that's it. Enough talking about me. Let's talk about you and Big Ron over there. Play us some more music.
Ron Casteel. Yes. No, we both love our dads very much. And our dads have really made us into the people we are today. So that's what your video says to me, and that whole song. So, but I said, you know, it's your dad's story, and it's my dad's music. So my dad plays a lot of country.
It was my dad's birthday last week. And today is my niece, his granddaughter, the one who just named her child after him. Today's her birthday.
How nice.
So everything all came together. This seems like it's a good thing.
It all comes together. So this video will be on my YouTube channel, and we'll share it widely. And you can hear the rest of the songs on Peace Still Hayride on bandcamp.com.
There are some amazing songs on that album.
Yeah.
I just heard Go With the Float. I went to go research something about boats, and there's Steven Andres' video, and there's that. I'm like, first the song, I didn't recognize him. I recognized the song. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that guy, because you're watching it on a screen this big. I didn't realize who it was until I heard the music.
That was a really fun song to do too. Yeah, there's all kinds. There's a murder ballad. There's some kind of Dixie Chicks type sounding stuff. It was a really fun album to put together. I really enjoyed that.
And there was a catchy one that should be a hit that everybody should sing called "So Damn Poor."
Oh yeah, Robbins.
Once you hear it once, you can't get it out. It's like an earworm. It's just buried in there.
Yeah, little Tom Petty country, and that leads off the album. So it's all still good. It's Peace Still Hayride Volume 2. It's available on bandcamp.com. And as I get my act together, I'll start doing more of the videos. So I don't know why. You know, I think they're going to take forever, and they don't. So I got to fix that. But
you had me a draft in one night. I gotta say, you talked about it, and the next day you're like, "What do you think of this?" I'm
the
like,
guilt. Yeah, the guilt. So anyway, Dad. Speaking of country music and things we like to do you want to do the big one? But since it's right in front of you, should we do it since we're still kind of on our country kick?
Well, I think we could do the big one.
I think we can do it.
I think we could do the big one.
Okay.
As long as you do the big part, I'll do the little part.
Yes. All right. I'm going to put you in the little lawyer's room for a second.
I was going to say, blow that screen up so you can get
I'll
everything there, guys.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, Dad, you love country music. I've known this for forever. You love gospel. You love blues. You love it all. And so I asked you to do this song since this is about a dad who's not a very good dad.
Well, no. He was a good dad in the wrong way.
A good dad in the wrong way.
Yeah. His heart was in the right place, but his brain was someplace else.
Yes. So this is a Johnny Cash song that we're going to do together. We're going to trade off and on.
Well, my dad left home when I was 3. He didn't leave much from his mom and me. An old guitar and a little empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought it was quite a joke. He got lots of laughs from a lot of folks. It seemed that he had to fight all the way through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red. Some guy would laugh and I'd bash his head. But to tell you the truth, it isn't easy to be named Sue.
Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. I'd roam from town to town to hide my shame. But I made a vow to the moon and the stars, and I searched the honky-tonks and the bars. I'd kill that man who gave me that awful name.
Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July. I had just hit town and my purse was dry. My throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have a day. So went to an old saloon on the street of mud. There on the table, dealer said, "Check that dirty mangy dog named Mason."
Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture on my mother's head. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold. And I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? You're gonna die."
Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, but to my surprise, he got up with a knife and cut off a piece of my But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we dragged that and crashed through the wall into the street, kicking out and gouging in the mud and the mud and the beer.
All right, bring it down. I'll tell you, I fought tougher men, but really I can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss. He went for his gun and I pulled my fust. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile.
And he said, "Son, the world is rough. If a man's going to make it, he's got to be tough." And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die. And it's a name that helped you get real strong.
He said, "Now you just thought one hell of a fight. And I know that you hate me. You got the right to kill me now. And I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you want to thank me. And before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye. Because I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue."
I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called him Pop, he called me son. And I came away with I think about him now and then, every time. And every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I'm gonna name him Aiden or Liana, just not Sue.
Sue by Johnny Cash, performed by Ron Casteel.
Oh my
with
goodness.
his daughter Eden. There you go. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
This is what I grew up with.
Okay.
That's awesome.
This is what I grew up with. So,
now might be a good time for some wisdom from Ron Casteel.
This is true. Okay, wisdom from Ron Casteel. So, Dad, what's advice that you like to give? I know you've given me a lot of advice. The advice I remember the most from you was never tug on Superman's cape, never spit in the wind, right? Never build a house for a friend. And there's no harm in making a profit. Yeah. That is my dad's rules of wisdom, right? Brought to you by Jim Croce.
My dad's rule of wisdom I see as part of the list of your father's was the same thing, which was the Chaika motto. The Chaika motto for investment was always buy low and sell high. Oh, no,
yes!
buy high and sell low.
Buy high and sell low. Yes. We got bad advice. So, friends, do you have advice too that your dad always gave you? You can put it in the chat if you like. I am going to make him do a little bit of sounds like a song. So it might show up if you put it in the chat. But that's the advice I'm mostly remembering from you, Dad. And Davis goes, oh dear. Right. Yeah, you wanted me to, make sure that I protect myself. I didn't understand the tug on the Superman's cape for the longest time, but then I finally figured that out. And then never build a house for a friend. My dad was a house builder for years. Had a company. And that actually happen? Did you build a house for a friend and it went bad? Yeah. Yeah. Right. I think in my line of work, it would say never play a wedding for a friend. So
that's another good one.
Yeah. Things happen. What would be yours version of that, Dan? Like never do a will for a friend? Or?
Oh, the worst problem is you have to work for friends, but they are the worst clients. Like they insist that they're special and they should communicate with you on the cell phone and not call you through your secretary. And then they wonder why you don't call them back for a week till they call the second time, because you have a secretary to make sure you call people back. When you get 30 texts and 40 calls in a day, you don't remember the one that your friend's calling you in the morning at 8:30 or 9. You're thinking, they're trying to set up golf for Saturday, right? I'll get back to them. No, they got some pressing legal issue where their daughter has some problem, and it's just the worst. Absolutely
right. That's right. Never work for friends. It's but
or
charge double. So that's some of the advice I remember you giving me growing up. And buy low, sell high, or in Dan's case, buy high, sell low.
Buy high, sell low. And the other thing my father told me was, if you're going to loan money to friends, don't ask for it back. It's a gift.
Absolutely. Yeah. You'll never see it back. Laura says, what is it? What was her father's advice? Find a mechanic who treats you like royalty and travel while you're young. Yes.
My dad gave me that one, which was don't skip a vacation because you'll never make them up again.
Right.
And travel while you're young. Absolutely.
Take the vacation. And you and Mom certainly did, Dad. So you had some pictures, and I've got a few to show too. Right. This is, family.
I like your pictures better. I think.
Well, I'll see if
you haven't even seen them yet.
Camera, right?
I just.
You live them. Oh, you love that picture. Come on.
Yep. I love that lady.
Yeah, that's my mom. So this was in 1962. And they traveled around. So they actually spent a little time in Newport when you were in Officer Candidate School, right? For Newport.
And also, this is where my ship was stationed.
Oh, and the ship was there. So it was USS Rankin during Vietnam. So they're there.
Navy housing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So my husband put these together. He scanned all of these slides in. But look how cool
my dad grew up there. I recognize those houses. Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, he always has the coolest sunglasses.
Yeah, nice sunglasses, really good.
And then I can't figure out, and Dad couldn't figure out what they're doing in this picture too. So,
oh my God, that's adorable.
Yeah, but that's my mother. Very dramatic, striking features. And so, they met when they were teenagers, and also right around the same time that my dad became the youngest organist playing at a church in Columbus, Ohio, is kind of the same time that they met. So I'm sure that was an attractor for her. Yes, and you probably mentioned it many times in the homeroom of Indian Village in your eye. Hey, hi, Risa. Oh, by the way, I'm the youngest organist in Columbus, Ohio.
Everybody always laughs at the kids in band, but they get the checks, don't they?
They do get the checks. Musicians do get the checks. It's kind of nice. So, speaking of musicians, you get to play another song, Dad. So you can do.
I think I'll do this one.
Okay.
Because this is one that everybody should do sometime in their life. I do it because I go down there every once in a while and find a good Baptist church there that needs an organist once in a while. And so I've done that several times. And so I just want to say to them, nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. No one could be sweeter than my sweetie when I greet her in the morning. Where the morning glories fly around the land, whispering pretty stories God longs to hear once more. Oh, with my girlie when the dew is early in the morning. Pat her touch her butter up, the kisses her butter up and on. Now here we go. I make a wish and here's what I say. Nothing could be harder than to be in Carolina in the morning.
Also, shaving a haircut, 2 bits, signature move.
Yes.
Signature move.
Yeah.
It's fun. I get to talk, music shop with my dad all the time. Like you must have talked, law shop with your dad all the time. It's just our language, right? So yeah, so we've been sitting here all day and I'm saying, hey, what if you started this with, with the whole note chord instead of a lot of stuff? But a lot of the fills and things that my dad does pianistically, I do because I heard them my whole life. So it's funny how those things kind of just follow you everywhere. So like the Bachs, I'm sure that, J.S. Bach passed down all these little musical things to his children. So there, that's my story.
Speaking of some Bach, I mean, we should probably do something.
Dan says what? Yeah, Dan?
Oh, I just want to say before the show starts, you guys aren't privy to the banter that goes back and forth, but there was an example of the tide turning and Eden coaching Ron because he was singing 2 keys down.
Oh, yes.
You heard the telltale Eden line, which is, how do I know you're 2 keys down, Dad? I've got perfect pitch.
Yeah. No, yeah, he was playing it, and I said, you can't do that to me.
Well, in fact, it happened today during rehearsal.
Yes.
It did. He heard it. He heard all of it.
Oh, he heard it?
Heard
okay.
it yeah.
It was amazing. I'm playing along, have a good time. She said, Dad, you're 2 steps down. I said, what do you mean? No, I'm not stepping on anything.
You're killing me. You're killing me here. All right. So, Dad, I think it is time for you to tell the joke.
A joke?
Right, so 2 weeks ago, we had the dad jokes, right? A quartet on the Eden Show. But the best dad joke is the one my dad is about to tell. Friends, I just want you to be ready to groan. Yeah, this is the joke I have heard most of my life, and I really want to hear you do it.
It's serious. It's a serious joke. It's about 3 astronauts, and everybody's talking about astronauts now. And they were apart, but they finally got together for dinner one time, and they were talking about their programs. What are the astronauts? What are we going to do? What's going to be our mission? The oldest one said, "Well, let me tell you, I'm getting up there in age, but I have been assigned to make the first mission to Mars. And I'll be going to Mars." And that's going to happen before you know it. And I'm really proud of that. And the other 2 astronauts said, well, yeah, that's something to be proud of. And the second astronaut said, well, I'm not as old as you are. I'm a little younger. And maybe that's why I was assigned to take the first spaceship to Venus.
Mars,
and
Venus,
he said,
that makes total sense. Total sense.
He's really going to go to Venus. He said, yeah, it's top secret. You can't tell anybody. Finally, the 3rd astronaut. He was the youngest of the group, but he looked at them both and said, well, that's wonderful and all that, but I guess what I better tell you is that I'm going to be on the first spaceship that goes through the sun.
The sun?
They looked at him and said, now, wait a minute. How are you're going to go to look, before you even get within a billion, gazillion miles of the sun, you're going to burn up. You can't take a spaceship to the sun. And he looked him right in the eye and said, "You think you're so smart? We're going at night."
Ron Casteel, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be here all week. There you go. That is the joke I have heard my whole life.
And when I would start it someplace, she would say, "No, Dad, no."
No, let's not tell a joke. But what, Laura says that never gets old.
I'm with
You're
Laura.
so nice, Laura. Oh my God. Yes. And so in our family, it's like all of a sudden we'll be talking about, and Dad will just go, "There are these 3 astronauts." There's your joke, friends. And so you can see that for the dad jokes, I really wanted, the mega dad joke for this show. Yeah, very important. All right, so we make them play Sounds Like a Song. Ooh. I think we should make them play Sounds Like a Song.
You've got some good comments. You actually got a lot of comments.
We've got a lot of comments, and thank you
won't have to
so
dig
much
into the library and find a book.
This is good. Yeah, Laura says, "I've heard this joke most of my life too." It's true. So yeah, there's a few, like every family has their things that they do, right? So like in my family, it's that joke. And then it's also this kind of a ceremonial movement. I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. This is going to be,
We were in Egypt.
We were going to go to Egypt. Yeah. And so we were doing like Steve Martin doing King Tut. Yeah.
Or the Bangles.
Or the Bangles.
Walking like an Egyptian. Yeah.
That's true. So those things. And then the last thing that I actually got to talk about this in the church job that I have, we were talking about the Christmas pageants. And so when I was growing up, my dad was the organist at a church where one of the retired ministers had written a Christmas pageant in the 50s. It was the kind of Christmas pageant where the shepherds say things like, "Hey, mister," because it was the 50s, right? So, but I wondered why all the adults really wanted to be in this Christmas pageant. They fought over who was going to play the wise men and the scribe. Forget Mary. They all wanted these other parts because they were written in this really funny, stilted language by this well-meaning minister. So my dad always played the scribe, but there were always like the 3 wise men, right? And the wise men would say, "Behold, yonder star." And then they would look at each other and they would say, as in the script,
"Shall we take 1 camel or should we take 2?
This is the line. "Will 1 camel suffice or shall we take 2? So, because that's clearly biblical. So we do this in our family.
That we would wait for that line. The whole play.
Everybody in church would wait for that line. I have many copies of this play. Yes, and I bring them out at Christmas time for special times. But in our family, so now whenever we're going anywhere, will 1 beer suffice or shall we have 2? Well, should 1 tree suffice or shall we have 2? It's one of those things we just throw out there all the time. So actually, Dad, I'm going to make that. I want you to make up a song called "Will 1 camel suffice or shall we have 2?" Can you make up a song called "Will 1 camel suffice or shall we have 2?" Good luck. You got it.
I just wondered if we were going to make it on 1, or we're going to have to look at the sun and say that we're going to have to take 2. I'll try to get on that horse and ride. The only trouble is there's a donkey on the side. And no dog with me, and I'll have 2.
Yay! There she's off. Well, 1 camel suffice or shall we take 2? Okay, here's another one. Let's do Laura's. Okay, your another song is called "The Egyptian Moves." Can you make up a song called "The Egyptian Moves"?
The Egyptian Moves.
The Egyptian Moves. There it is up there.
That one.
Yeah. The Egyptian Moves. There. That's what he did.
That's it. The Egyptian Move. There'll be copies in the morning.
Oh, here is a request. If there's any chance for a quick request, a little pomp and circumstance for Catherine or for Joey. Yes, this is for my stepdaughter Catherine and Joey Fortune, who just graduated from the same high school earlier this week.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was great. And I brought graduation pictures so my dad can put them up with all of the other grandchildren pictures. yes, congratulations to all of you. And then Christy, we'll do it for you next year. So happy graduation to all of them. We're very happy for them.
That was a pump. That was 2 pumps in one circumstance.
2 pumps, 1 circumstance. All right, so one more. And this, let's see if I can find a good one. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Laura always does good quotes. So that's a very cool looking dad. Can you write a song called That's a Very Cool Looking Dad? Yes!
Oh, he was cool. And he was a dad. You put those 2 things together and he's a cool looking dad.
Yeah.
He had a way of getting around. He could sing, but he didn't utter a sound. He was cool. A cool looking dad. He was cool. That's all we had. He got around on his own. He was a cool looking dad, and he went on together someplace else.
Yay!
I don't know,
Eden. I don't know if anybody can ever do songs like a song again. Someone
know.
just killed it. Killed it.
He kills it. My whole life, he did this. He would make up stuff in the car. We went to like a Lutheran church one time and they were chanting everything. So he started chanting everything when we got home. I'm going to chant like a Lutheran. Please bring a covered dish to the next meeting. And so he just did that for a day. So yeah, that sense of fun and music is, it's all him. And I'm glad to have it too. So that's my dad, guys. That's my dad. And so yes, dad still plays everywhere. And he is available to play for you if you are in Columbus or even if you're not in Columbus. And you can find him
the internet.
Yeah, through the magic of the internet. It's called, he has a thing on the Bash, but you can also find him through roncasteel.com. I'm just looking for it now. Oh, I got to turn off the chat thing. How do I take off that message? All right, unpin the message. Sorry, Laura, I'm trying to take it off because otherwise he would say it for his whole life. He'd go, yeah, he's a cool looking dad.
Here's a good dad.
All right, I'm just looking for it so I can turn it off. How do I turn that off? Turn off the pin message. Hide message. Okay. Oh, it keeps on coming. There we go. Okay, now we're good. So yes, I am lucky. I have a cool looking dad. I've got a talented dad, and you did too. So you had a very cool, talented dad as well.
That's why we're doing a dad show.
That's why we're doing a dad show. So, I mean, friends, if you've got a dad around, you know what to do. You go talk to them. You tell them how much you love them. And you spend as much time with them as you can. And you're grateful for them, for all your parents. But this one's for dads. So this is a really good one.
Tell your dad all those good things, but nothing about the 3 camels.
No, you don't have to do the camels. You don't have to talk about what one camel suffice or shall we have 2. It's really okay. So, but a lot of the music that I've done was because I heard so much music in my house, and I watched my dad play, and I would see him play organ at church, and he played bar on Saturday nights and organ on Sunday morning. He played this song at both locations. So he could play this in church, but he also played it in the bars. Because many people find God in a bar.
I once was lost,
but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Look, my Jewish friend knows this.
Yay!
Have you ever heard Amazing Grace in a bar, Dan?
Yeah, I actually have heard Amazing.
There, you are the rule that proves the rule.
You remember it.
My favorite Amazing Grace is Judy Collins doing Amazing Grace.
She's pretty awesome. Yeah. So, Dad, you started playing in bars actually in high school, right? Your parents would sit there and chaperone you, but you'd be playing Ron Casteel at the organ. think I have a video or image there, right? 4-course dinners at Seafood Bay with Ron Casteel at the organ.
Look at that. $1.95 for a 4-course meal
Yeah.
at a seafood.
That's amazing. Totally amazing.
Yeah.
And you were the youngest organist in Columbus, Ohio. So there you are playing your Hammond B3 in 1955 when you were 13 years old.
Yeah. And be sure to tell everybody that that's a true B3 because look at those white presets on the side.
It's a true B3. And my mother made him give it up when they got married.
That's what my parents gave me at 15. Bless their hearts.
They did. I puppy. So he did all that. And so I mean, he's always been musical as long as I've known him. And so that was kind of the culture of our house, that you just get to be musical. And I didn't realize, until later, sometimes some of the phrases that he would use, like hum a few bars and fake it. I've heard that my whole life, and I really didn't know what it meant for a long time. And now I get it. And so I would tell that to people. I'd be playing. I figured, hum a few bars and I'll fake it. And I figured out how to do that, right? That he did that. And because he played in bars and in churches, he had this huge selection of music that I got to take advantage of growing up. And the other weird phrase that I always remember you saying was, I'll play anything, but don't make me play Melancholy Baby. I couldn't figure out why that was such a problematic song. And so I asked you today, finally, why? And you said,
because I don't know it.
Hey, a lot of your songs, I don't know. It doesn't stop me. But it's true. And so I wasn't until college I finally got to listen to Melancholy Baby. And I thought, okay, I can see why he didn't want to play it.
Probably the best, though, one I ever had. I was at Seafood Bay, the restaurant in Columbus, and a couple, Jackie and her mom and dad.
Yeah, Jackie Bisbee.
Her mom and dad would come in. He always wanted me to play The Poet and the Peasant Overture.
The Poet and the Peasant Overture? What is that?
Yes. It's a beginning of a very large piece of music. Okay. And he was surprised that I knew it. Of course, I would never play the whole thing. I would just play the beginning of it. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, the last one I have to tell you about. I've had a fellow come in. Again, we'd have people who come in on business and they would have dinner and go away. This one fellow came in and the first thing that he said to me was, can you play all through the night? And I said, no, I got to get home. I don't do that. And I got to get home anyway. He came in the next night or 2 days later, something like that. And he said, he walked by again. He said, any chance you can play all through the night? And I thought it was just strange. He walked away from me. Finally, I started, sleep, my child, and peace attend thee all through the night. I got $25.
Wow.
Hey, I'd like to get that for playing all through the night. That'd be awesome.
For playing all through. I don't know why it came, but it just did. And music has been like that to me. I've had a great, well, obviously I have a very talented daughter, but also it's great to meet people who want little things. Yeah. Like can you play all through the night? And then finally you figure out how to do it. It's just great. Yeah.
That's just what we're music people. This is what we do. It's so fun. All right, Dad, we are actually nearer to the end of our show. Can you believe it? I know. He's got so much music. So Dad plays regularly in Columbus, Ohio. You can find out more about my dad at roncasteel.com. You can book him for assisted living, special events. You play parties, celebrations, all kinds of things. He's also on the Bash, but really contact him. He's here in Columbus, but he plays all over Ohio. And it's just delightful. So you just heard a tiny taste of what he does. He has a huge musical library that he plays all the time. But you're going to finish with a song I always remember you doing. And if you know it, Dan, you can sing this one too. So to those of you who are watching tonight, thank you so much for watching and being here tonight. And Dan, that was such a beautiful video. It was gorgeous.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Absolutely. So we will be
Ron, enjoy your Father's Day weekend with your daughters.
It's been great.
We're going to have a great time. And I will see you all. I'm going to be in and out, in July and August all over New England doing a whole bunch of things. And we aim to be back at some point in August for the Great Leo celebration.
Hey,
and
you didn't shameless plug the fact that you were allowed that you're going to be at the Eugene O'Neill Theater doing the cabaret thing.
That's true. I didn't. I actually created a shameless plug.
You need to blow your own horn.
Put it up.
Come on.
Yes, I'm going to be at the O'Neill Theater Center this summer, first 2 weeks of August. Going to be doing the cabaret conference there, and there'll be a live show on August 10th. There, see, I did one.
Oh, good.
I'll also be at the Providence Fringe at the end of July doing con artists. So if you hit that QR code, I'll take a picture of this so everybody can see it. So yeah, there's a lot going on this summer. And because there's so much going on, I want to give it my full attention. So the Eden Show will be back when I can give it my full attention. And it's going to be tons of fun. But tonight has been tons of fun. It's been so great. So I'll see you around. I'll go to Nick and E's with you, and you'll come to Calf Bar and we'll do open mic, and it'll be a wonderful time.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So thank you so much for watching the Eden Show tonight for this whole year. This is episode 86. My dad is going to play a beautiful song.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a bit to drink and now I'm going to show me the way to go home. How dry I am. How dry I am. Nobody knows how dry I am. I'd sell my shoes or a bottle of booze. Nobody knows how dry I am.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the Eden Show.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there, dad figures. We love you, and we will see you all soon. Good night. I got to find my graphics so I can play my beautiful thing. Here I go. Bye.
There we go.